Okay, I think we'll kick things off now. Hi, everyone. I just want to say thank you for taking the time to join our webinar today, which is going to look at online bookings in Halaxy. My name is Shane, and I handle all things marketing here at Halaxy. I'm joined by our learning and education specialist, Ria, who'll be leading today's session. We're also joined in Mike and Rahul. They're from our customer service team. They'll be here to answer any questions you may have, so feel free to drop them in the chat throughout today's session, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. Like I said, fantastic to see everyone here today. Like our recent intake forms webinar, today's session on online bookings was actually very highly requested, so it's good to get this session up and running. So over the next hour, we're going to take a deeper look at how you can benefit from using Halaxy's online booking feature in your own practice, from the basics on how online bookings work, and then how you can fully automate online bookings for your practice. But before we get started with today's webinar, though, I thought I'll just ask everyone a few questions to get to know you all a little bit better. So how long has everyone been using Halaxy for here? If you could just drop your answers in the chat, that would be great. 2 months, 3 years, okay? So a long-time user, 1 month, very new. That's good. It looks like a mix of experience, and Ria is going to cover kind of everything from the basics to the more advanced. So that's really perfect to hear. And I guess just one more question is, what did you want to get out of today's webinar? Is there any piece of learning that you really want to take away from today's session? I haven't started yet, but using dramatic placement, 1 month, a few years, a couple of weeks. Couple of weeks. Okay, well, Ria's going to run through the learning goals very shortly herself anyway, so we'll kick things off then. I guess just to give everyone a bit of background in Halaxy. So Halaxy's practice management software was really built to solve the complexity of healthcare, whether that's scheduling, including taking online bookings that we're looking at today, processing claims and payments, and a whole lot more. We really understand that healthcare is complex. And that complexity is on top of the actual clinical work that you have to do every single day. The way we see it, Halaxy solves that complexity by not just helping you reduce your admin, but removing and automating it completely, saving you up to an hour a day every day. So you have more time to focus on what really matters, and that's patient care. Online bookings play a really important role in that. Halaxy's online booking feature makes it easy for your patients to book appointments, giving them the flexibility to select a service, choose an available time slot, and even make advanced payments, all in just a few clicks. This significantly reduces your administration, follow-up time, and all the bookings automatically appear in your Halaxy, which is a really great feature. This, like everything else at Halaxy, gives you more time to focus on patient care and less time on administration. Okay, though, that is enough from me. Ria, I'm going to hand it over to you, and I see some people have put some more things in the chat, so that's great. But everyone enjoyed today's session. Looking forward to it myself.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Shane. My name is Ria. I'm the content and learning specialist here. I create the support articles and the help guide and create the tutorial videos. And I'm also here for the webinars to help you learn how to use Halaxy and get the most out of it. So thank you for joining our online bookings webinar. I'm really excited to be here. You know, in the digital age, online bookings have become an essential part of running any appointment-based business. And with Halaxy, our online booking system doesn't only take appointments, it automates everything else so that all you need to do is see your patient. And Halaxy just handles the rest. So before anything, can I just take a quick poll so we kind of know where everyone is at? I've just launched a poll here. Just want to know what best describes your experience with Halaxy online bookings. So I want to know if you already use it, but you want to learn more, or you try to set it up, but you got confused and you need some help, or you haven't actually set it up yet. So I just want to know where everyone is at. From there, I'm going to talk about our learning goals for today. So this is what we're going to cover for our online bookings webinar. So the first thing I'm going to demo is what a Halaxy online bookings page actually looks like, what it can do, and what the booking process looks like for your patients. The second is we're going to get to the fun part, and we're going to set up your online bookings page. I will take you through the different preference settings you can customize so that your online bookings page works exactly the way you need it to. Next, we can start adding your fees and services to your online bookings page, and this includes customizing fees with their own settings. And lastly, I'm going to show you how to automate your online bookings process. I'll walk you through the Halaxy features that you can use to automate the entire process for you, from upfront payments to sending intake forms to reminders to having patients reschedule their own appointments. All you need to do is set it up, and Halaxy takes care of the rest for you. I just see that there have been a few people who mentioned about integrating your online bookings in your website, and I'll touch on that in the Q&A portion at the end. So I just noticed that there were a few people who asked for that, so I think it's important to cover that as well. So yeah, these are the topics we'll be covering today. Just so you know, this session is being recorded, so if you can't join for the whole session, you can watch when we email the link. Everyone who registered will be receiving the link via email. We also want to remind everybody that this webinar is for intermediate users. We trust that you're familiar with Halaxy's main features and interface already. If you haven't attended our previous webinars for beginners, Shane is just dropping a link to our webinars page now in the chat. Also want to mention our Halaxy help guide. So to learn more about all the features that we have, you'll find like hundreds of support articles in our help guide. You can find it at support.halaxy.com. You can also find our help and resources in the Halaxy app. So if you click on the help and resources button in the bottom left corner, you'll find you can search for help articles straight from the app already. You can watch our webinars and our video tutorials. If you want to follow along with today's webinar, please log into your Halaxy account, or if you don't have one yet, please create an account. It's free. You don't need to add any credit card details. There's no contracts or plans. You can just sign up. And we also recommend putting the webinar side by side with the Halaxy window, just so you can follow along better. And if you have a separate screen for that, even better. We'd also like to remind everyone that to use online bookings, you must have a verified profile. Getting verified takes just a few minutes, and it usually occurs naturally when you complete your practice and professional information in Halaxy. Shane is dropping a link now to the help guide with instructions on how you can get your profile verified. If you have any questions, please feel free to drop your questions in the chat. We have Mike and Rahul from the service team here to help answer your questions. We just want to remind everybody to please keep questions relevant to the topic. We're discussing online bookings. We'll keep our questions regarding online bookings. For any other complex questions, if you have a question that's particular to your situation, we advise to email or call the service team instead. It'll be much quicker for them to assist you. Lastly, online bookings is an incredibly rich feature, and we'll try to cover everything as best we can. We'll also be dropping links to helpful articles in the chat from time to time to supplement this webinar. So if everyone's ready, we can get started. So, sorry. Yeah. So the Halaxy online booking system revolutionizes the way you manage your appointments and is designed for convenience and efficiency for both you and your patients. So I'm just going to quickly show you what the online bookings page can look like in Halaxy. So this is a practice directory profile. So this is my practice, Halaxy Health. These are the practitioners listed in my location. And from here, let's say I'm a patient, I can select a practitioner profile that I want to see. So click here, and from here, I can see this practitioner. I can see all the locations that they practice at, the address of the practice location. I can view the specializations and qualifications of the practitioner, and also the fees and services that they offer. You can opt to show your prices here, or you can also opt not to. So if they want to book, they can click this button here to book an appointment. And from here, they can select a service. So you can see there's telehealth services, there's in-clinic, there's even phone. So I'm just gonna click here, the standard consultation, and I'll select 9 a.m. And I'll just use my own email address. You can even put booking notes here if you want to specify any reminders, like, yes, please arrive 10 minutes before your appointment, or you're required to complete your intake form. The patients can also add any notes here, any questions they might have, and if they want to specify what they're going to see you for. And then you click submit. So you can opt to capture their credit card or debit card details here. You can also, you can take upfront payment, you can take a deposit payment, or you can just ask for their credit card details. So say here, let's just add that. So they're not going to be charged yet, but this does save their details to their patient profile. And from here, the appointment has been requested. From here, they can add the appointment to the calendar. They can opt to cancel or reschedule the appointment. If they click here, there are buttons here where they can reschedule or cancel. They can also already complete the intake form from here. So it's all pretty automatic. They'll also receive an email. I'm just going to show you the they'll also receive a confirmation email for this appointment. So they have the appointment details, and they can click here to open the intake form, or they can reschedule, cancel here. So it's in their email. They'll be able to access this anytime. Yeah, so if enabled, if you also enabled reminders, the patients also receive an email or SMS reminders close to their appointment dates, where they also have the option to reschedule or cancel their appointment. So, sorry, let me just open the calendar real quick. So from here, this was our booking. This is how it looks like on the calendar. If you hover over here, you can see that it shows that it was booked online, and it comes in as pending. You can, if you want patients to be confirmed right away, we can configure this that the appointment status is booked already. But if you want to confirm with the patient first, we can, by default, this is set to pending. You also receive an in-app notification here, where you can confirm the appointment straight from here as well. So that is the booking process. This is the Halaxy online booking experience for patients. And if you've noticed something, not a single step in that process required any action from you. The booking process is completely taken off your hands. So with 24/7 availability, patients can book their own appointments at their convenience. This leads to improved patient experience and automating this aspect of your practice. So Halaxy's online booking streamline your scheduling workflow, and it reduces no-shows while optimizing your valuable time for the work that matters most, which is treating patients. Is everybody following so far? Can I select whether the patient... Patricia, yes, you can select whether the patient gets a reminder. Did you mean like individual, you want to select individual patients who get reminders and who don't? But in any case, yes, you can enable reminders for specific patients. So let's move on to the next part. We're going to set up our online bookings page. So before we get into that, I just want to remind people that make sure first that your profile is set to enabled or enabled not searchable. So if you go to personal on the sidebar, go to personal and click profile. You'll find your profile status here. If you've already been verified, this should say enabled or enabled, not searchable. So that's really important. Okay, so now that we know what your online bookings page can look like, let's begin setting up your online bookings page. So I'll just exit these tabs quickly. So to set up online booking, here on the sidebar under personal, click location. So when we set up online bookings page, this is done per practitioner, per location. It's not like you set up your online bookings just for this whole practice. It has to be per practitioner because not everybody has the same practice hours. So we'll do it for this location and for this practitioner. So under this practitioner, next to online bookings and profile preferences, just click the pencil icon here. Okay, so because online bookings is found on your directory profile, let's show that. Let's enable that. So from here, we have a few options, and you can configure which contact details you want to show or hide on your practitioner profile. So you can hide your mobile number, you can show your practice hours. If you want to hide your email address, you can also show a contact button. This allows them to send an email to you from your online bookings page, but without showing your email address. If you want to show your list of services on your online bookings page, just click show for fees. And for address, you can opt to show your complete address if you do on-site. If you do appointments at your location, at your clinic, you can show your complete address. Or if, let's say, you want to keep it private, if you only do telehealth, you can hide your complete address so they won't find it on your profile. So from here, I'll just show this, show, we'll hide that. Yeah. Okay, so from there, let's enable online bookings now. So under here, online bookings, let's click enabled. Now you'll see a whole heap of preferences appear. All these allow you to completely customize the way your online bookings page works. So I'm going to take you through each of these settings. Some of these, I'm going to flip back to the slideshow just so I can kind of explain better. Some of these settings can be explained visually. So, okay, I'm just going to take you through these one by one. So notifications, by default, you'll receive an in-app notification when you receive a new online booking. But if you want to be notified via email or SMS, you can just tick these. You can tick one or both if you want. But if you only want to have your notifications in-app, you can just leave these blank. That's fine. Next is patients. So you can specify which patients are allowed to book online in your online bookings page. So anyone means anyone, like new patients, patients who've never been to your practice before. When they book online, a new patient profile is created for them. Existing patients group, this means allow people on your patient list. So everyone in your patient list can make an online booking as long as they're there in the list. For existing patients group current, these are patients that are already in your patient list, but their patient status is set to current. So if they're discharged or blocked or deceased, like those patients will not be able to, or anyone using the patient's contact details won't be able to book in your online bookings page. Last is existing patients practitioner. So existing patients can only book with practitioners that they've already seen. So they've had appointments with them before. So for existing patient settings, so any of these three, this means that new patients are unable to make bookings. And if you select any of them, so for example, with this, you can add an alert for new patients visiting your online bookings page. So you can just tell them, like, if this is your first appointment, please contact the practice before proceeding with online booking, if you want any instructions for them. Yeah, so existing patients are verified by the name and phone number recorded in their patient profile, and then they also receive an SMS verification code at the time of booking. Next is date of birth. So if you want to request the patient's date of birth at the time of booking, you can make it optional or mandatory. There were some practitioners, I think they wanted to know if their the patient being booked for is a minor or a child. Next is appointment scheduling. So I'm just going to flip back to the slideshow real quick. So to explain appointment scheduling, so this is a scenario. So let's say your practice hours are from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. and you have a patient who wants to book a 30-minute service at 9. And in my setting, so in the settings, we require a 10-minute buffer period in between appointments for cleanup and paperwork. So this means the appointment plus the buffer time, that's 40 minutes in total. So let's say that patient books for the 9 a.m. So that's taken. So 9 a.m. to 9:40, that's all booked out. Then patient B now wants to book a 60-minute service at your practice. So appointment scheduling configures what available time slots the second patient can select. So if you have static scheduling, this retains the fixed time slots from the start of your practice hours. So it'll be like from 9 a.m. because somebody is here from 9 a.m. to 9:40. The next 70 minutes, sorry, it's 70 minutes because it's 60 minutes plus the 10-minute buffer time. The next time slot for that is going to be the 10:10. So that is static. It's fixed from the start of your practice hours. Whereas dynamic scheduling, you can see it automatically adjusts the time slots according to the available time in the practitioner's calendar. So because someone is here from 9 a.m. to 9:40, patient B can then select 9:40 to start their schedule. So this is a bit more flexible. Next is appointment selection. So the two options are time specific or request based. So time specific is they request a specific time slot. 9 a.m. is 9 a.m. But request based, they can, if you want a bit more flexibility, if you want more control on what time this patients are booked in, they can select if they prefer morning, afternoon, or evening, and the calendar assigns them to time slot. Like for example, the earliest in your morning is 9 a.m. So it'll be assigned to 9 a.m. But you can still confirm if you can still move it around if you want to, and then you confirm with the patient that okay, you get the morning, but you're going to be assigned to the 10 a.m. So if you want a bit more flexibility, request based is a really it's a good option to do, and I think this is really unique to Halaxy as well. Next is lead time. So lead time is the amount of time before an appointment that a patient is allowed to book. So for example, if I specify 24 hours, if it's within 24 hours, I can't book this appointment. I can only book 24 hours or earlier before the appointment date that I want. So if you don't mind patients booking anytime, you can set this to none. This means they can book even 5 minutes before the appointment time that they want. But if you click specified, you can specify the number of hours you want before an appointment as lead time. Advanced booking limit is how far into the future that patients are allowed to book. So at the time of booking, they can book, say, 3 months, and anything past 3 months, they can't yet. So you can specify this to 1 month ahead, 6 months ahead. It's really up to you. If you set this to 0, that means patients can book an appointment at any date into the future. The next is the unavailability label. So this is just the placeholder text to display in the calendar dates when your online booking is unavailable, like say the weekends, wherever it's outside of your practice hours. This is the text that'll be there. So I think the default is not working, but we have other selections if you want to have it say not available, unavailable, or no availability. It's up to you. Next is default appointment status. So when patients complete their online booking, this setting is how you want the online appointment requests to appear in your calendar. So if you select book, that means the patient makes the appointment and is instantly like confirmed for the appointment. They're booked for that appointment. Whereas if you select pending or waiting list, you will need to confirm the booking before the appointment is finalized. So notification alerts for your in-app notification alerts for pending or waitlist appointments have a confirm button that changes the appointment status to book, and it also confirms the booking with the patient. So just gonna go back to our, yeah. So here I'll just click static, I'll click time-based. I will make this to 3 months and make this unavailable. I'll make this anyone. Okay, next is the default appointment duration. So if a fee in your fees list does not have a set appointment duration, this is going to be the default that it'll display in the online bookings page. And for buffer time, this is the amount of time after an appointment where patients are not allowed to book. So if you need, say, some time after an appointment for cleanup or for paperwork, you can add in the time here, like 10 minutes or 15 minutes. Next is booking notes. So I'll just move that. Yeah, so booking notes. This is the special instructions, like when a patient is filling out their details, if you want to give specific instructions or reminders to patients for their appointment, you can add quick booking notes here, like no cash payments, or yeah, please arrive 10 minutes before your appointment. You can include, I think you can set the formatting for that. Next is require consent to terms and conditions. So here, when they're filling out their details, there's a checkbox here. If you want them to consent to, like, say, your cancellation policy, they click terms and conditions. This is what's going to come up, and you can customize. You can customize that here. So if you click require consent to terms and conditions, you can then add that here, and whatever you add here is going to appear here in this pop-up. So they're not going to be able to click submit until they check this. Next is customized confirmation email. So if you tick that box, you can write your own confirmation email. So by default, this is the default text that we have. But if you want to customize, you want to make it more formatted, you want to include your practice logo, you can do that here. There are more fields where you can customize the email that patients receive when they complete an online booking. So with here, you can add in a link to the intake form or to manage their appointment, to reschedule and cancel. So if you want a reference guide for the different online booking preferences, you can save this link to our help guide, which Shane is sharing in the chat now. We have an entire table, so you can refer to it if you need a refresher. Okay, so now that we've configured our online booking, let's just say, let's just put something here and let's add in some stuff. Okay, so, all right, so let's save our changes real quick. And we can preview our online bookings page and what it looks like. So here under that location, and next to online directory, if you see this icon, it's like a square with an arrow on it. Just click that. So this is our directory profile. So if you click book practitioner, Alex Lee. So yeah, so this is what it looks like. We are able to see the fees already, and they can select here, and they can start selecting time. So the hours that are available here are based on your practice hours for this location as well. So I'm going to keep this tab open, the online bookings tab open, so I can quickly flip back and forth. I also recommend that you do that. It's just easier than always having to open in a new window, or so you can always preview quickly every time you make changes. Okay, so is everybody following so far? Okay, I think everything's okay. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is set up fees and services for online bookings. So in Halaxy, you can customize the fees that you want to be available on your page. So you can customize which of these. So the first thing you need to do is when you import a fee, their default setting is that they're hidden. So we have to make them public. So to do that, you go to back in Halaxy. So on the sidebar, click Finances, then Fees. Okay, so let's say this Medicare appointment. So let's say this one. We'll click a fee in your fees list. And then under pricing, find the most recent pricing if you have like different pricing blocks already from updating in previous years. This is the most recent price for this Medicare fee. So click the pencil icon here. And just under visibility, let's set that to public. And I'm going to change the amount as well. So this is a Medicare rebate. Let's say there's a gap fee for this. So I'm just going to put in an amount. And let's save that. Okay, so I'm going to flip back to the directory and check. So this is the professional telehealth. So we're going to flip back to the online bookings page and just quickly refresh. Okay, so you can see that the fee is now visible in your online bookings page and can now be selected, and it comes with the duration and the price. So not to rag on Medicare, but the fee name doesn't look very nice on the page. Like, we want the patient's invoice to retain this name because it's necessary for submitting claims, but we can customize how it looks on online bookings. So just going back, I'm going to flip back to the editing the fee. So from here, we're back here in the editing the fee. Under fee details, there's a field here called online booking custom name. So let's just call this standard, call this standard consultation and say online because it's a telehealth appointment. So let's just call it that. And you can also customize what the color is going to be. If somebody books this fee, this is going to appear in your calendar in this color. So you can customize that if you want to color code your calendar. You can also add online booking notes. So sorry, I'm just going to flip real quick. If you want to add some additional text here describing what the fee is, you can add that. So just flipping back, so online booking notes, you can add that here. And I'm just going to save this fee. So click Save Fee. And going back to the online bookings page, I'm going to refresh. And you can see that the fee is now with the nicer, like the shortened fee name. So we just kind of cleaned that up. Next, so we'll try this with another fee. So say this one, we have another fee here. And we'll call this, so this is like a really long name. So let's just call this Standard Consultation Clinic, and we'll save that. Oh shoot, I forgot to make it public, sorry. We have to edit the pricing block here at the bottom, and then click the pencil icon. So we'll set the visibility to public, and I'll also put in, let's see, I'll set the amount for that, and then click save, and then click save fee again. And then going back to the online bookings page, now we have these two. Okay, so these two fees are conducted differently, right? Because this one is online and this one is in person. So if you want to categorize your fees based on location type, so for example, like these two, this is under telehealth and this one is on-site, you can set the default appointment location for each of the fees, so that they'll be categorized here. So just real quickly, I'm going to go back to the fees and I'm going to open this fee. So the telehealth, so this is the telehealth fee. I'm going to set the default appointment location. It's here. I'm going to set this to Halaxy telehealth. And then I'm going to save that fee. And then I'll get the other one, which is the, this is the in-person consultation. So under default appointment location, let's set that to in-clinic. And then I'm going to save fee again. And then going back to our online bookings page, hit refresh again. Sorry, I did this early. I created these before, so they've probably doubled up. But yeah, so we have this, the standard consultation online. And now we have the standard consultation here on site. Sorry, this one, clinic. So you're able to, so now you can, so we've selected which fees we want to make available on our online bookings page, and we've now categorized them. So hang on. Real quick, just checking people's comments. Yeah, so appointments are 50 minutes, 10-minute buffer. How do clients book a double appointment? Luis, like the buffer doesn't need to be you can disable the buffer time in that case. Yeah. It's either you can also edit the appointment. So if they select 2 time slots, you can edit that appointment to make it for that amount of time. Next. Okay. We'll move on. So let's look at how you can customize your online bookings even further, which you can do using a Halaxy feature called appointment types. So appointment types are placeholders for appointments in online bookings. And I'm going to show you how they work using a couple of examples. So example 1 is, let's say you want to take online bookings for group appointments. So by default, the fees and services that you see here on online bookings are for solo appointments. But let's say you want your telehealth appointment times to be bookable by multiple people, so it can be a group appointment. What we'll do is we'll create an appointment time, an appointment type, and configure it as a group booking, and then we'll link it to the telehealth fee, so that whoever books this group appointment will have that fee in their invoice. So from here, I'm going to go back to Halaxy. On the sidebar, under settings, click settings, and then click general. So we're going to open our appointment settings. So here, under appointment settings, next to appointment types, so we have this disabled. We're going to enable this. So click the edit icon, and then we'll click enabled, and then click save. So now we have this enabled. We want to create a new appointment type. So next to appointment types list, click view all. And here in the upper right, click new appointment type. And you can select what level this will apply to. So this can just be for specific clinics or individual practitioners. I'm going to keep this at group level, which means this appointment type will be available for any practitioner in the group. So I'll call this, say, group therapy. And then for online booking, allow online booking, select yes, any bookable appointment time. So anyone who selects group therapy can select any available time slot on the calendar. So we'll select that. Next is online booking fee. So let's select our telehealth a telehealth fee. We'll select that here. So this is going to be linked. Anyone who booked here, their invoice is going to have this fee on their invoice. And then we can customize the color so that it'll stand out on the calendar. So this is gonna have pink background and it's gonna have black text. And let's set this to, let's say, 60 minutes for the duration. And then here for max patients, so with Halaxy Telehealth, you can have a maximum of 3 attendees. So I'm just gonna set this to 3. But let's say if you want more, if you're not using Halaxy Telehealth, or if this is an in-person appointment, like a class, you can add, you can set this to more than 3. Next, for default appointment location, so I'm going to select Halaxy Telehealth, and you can add any notes here if you want. This is completely optional. So I'm just going to click save. And then here, just going back to our appointment online bookings page, I'm going to hit refresh. As you can see here, we now have the group therapy service. So you can, if they click here, they can still select from any of the available time slots on when they want to do the group session. So if they book here at 9 a.m., if there's a second patient that comes in and then wants to book the group therapy appointment, they can still book the 9 a.m. This won't look unavailable. So up to a maximum of 3. Once 3 patients have booked into the 9 a.m. time slot, then this will no longer be available after. So that's how to do group online booking. The second example is, let's say you want to make specific time slots exclusive for certain services. So let's say you may want certain services, let's say the group booking. Let's say you only want that to be available at specific times of the day. So we do this by plotting the appointment type on the calendar. So just now we created this group therapy appointment type, right? So what we'll do is we'll reserve, say, only at 9 a.m. Like we only want group therapy at 9 a.m. for let's say Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So I'm just gonna go to the calendar. You can quickly go to the calendar by clicking the Halaxy logo in the top left. So I'll click that. So here, so I'm gonna select 9 a.m. So I want this to start, say, on Wednesday. I want only group sessions at 9 a.m. So click 9 a.m. on October 9th. So here in the appointment panel, if you see here, appointment type, let's just select group therapy. And we don't have, because we're just plotting this out on the calendar, this is a placeholder for the group therapy appointments. We don't have to add a patient or a fee. We'll just select the appointment type, and you can still customize how many patients you want for this session. And then we'll click save. So from here, hang on, I forgot. Let me just edit that real quick. If you want this to repeat, like at a certain schedule, you can set this to repeat. So let's say Mondays, Wednesdays, or let's say every 2 days. Let's say, and if you want this to end like after 10 times or after a specific date, let's say after October 31st, and then let's click save. So you'll see that this has been plotted on your calendar every 2 days. And if you can see here, I'm going to flip back to the online bookings page so I can show you how this works. So that was the group therapy. It's reserved at 9 a.m. So if I select group therapy here on the online bookings page, sorry. Oh, wait, sorry. I meant to say if I select the standard consultation clinic, you'll see that the 9 a.m. is no longer available. The one step I forgot to add, sorry, just real quick, just going back to the appointment type settings. So I'm just going to go back. That's under settings, general. And then under appointment settings, I'm going to click I'm going to open the appointment types list. So I'll just quickly open this the settings. So you know how here we allow online booking at any bookable appointment type. We can set this to yes, but only appointments matching the type. So that means only at that plotted time that we added to the calendar, that's the only time that people can book in for a group therapy session. So if you click save, and then flipping back to the online bookings page, I'm just gonna refresh. And if you click group therapy, you'll see that they're only able to book at the 9 a.m. So, yeah. So that's how appointment types work. Did everybody get that? Yeah. Looks like Mike and Rahul are getting to your questions. Louise, regarding two-way sync, yeah, I think we'll need to get back to you on that one. So we'll move on to our last section. So we're going to move on to automating our online booking. So we've set up our directory profile. We've set our online booking preferences and your available services. Now let's just add a few finishing touches so that this process is fully automated for you. So the first thing we'll do is to set up payment requirements. So there's probably a few of you who want to take upfront payments or a deposit payment or even capture credit card details. You can require this for patients to complete their online booking. So, sorry, going back to Halaxy, I'm going to flip back to Halaxy. And we'll open up our online booking preferences again. So on the sidebar, click personal, and then click location. So again, we'll open up, the online booking preferences are set per practitioner per location. So under our location, under this practitioner, next to online bookings and profile preferences, click the edit icon. And here under the payments section, you can select what setting you want. If you want full payment, deposit, like if you click deposit, you can select how many percent, you can 25, 50%, or you can select card capture, which asks the patient for their credit card details. If they already have their credit card details on file, then this step is just skipped. So this allows you to charge for no-shows. You charge patients instantly before or after their appointment. And this gives you the certainty of getting paid, and it removes the need to chase up late payments. You can also disable required payment for individual fees. So let's say you offer a beginner, like an initial consultation, a 15-minute consultation for free. You can edit the fee. I'll just show you real quick. So on the sidebar, click finances and then fees. I'll just open that, and let's say, excuse me. Let's say for this fee, and you don't want to require payment for this, here under fee details and under online booking payment, you can disable this. So if a patient books this fee, they're gonna skip the payment process, the payment step, or having to add in their credit card details. So that really helps you be flexible in your online bookings. The next thing we'll automate is we're gonna automate patient intake forms for online bookings. So just a quick disclaimer, we're not going to go through how to create an intake form. That's an entire topic in itself, and we've already covered this in our last specialized webinar on intake forms. So if you don't know how to create an intake form yet, Shane is dropping a link to the webinar and the support article for that. If you have an intake form set up, you can automate it to send whenever patients complete an online booking. So to do this, you want to automate your intake form. So on the sidebar, click Settings, and then click General. And then here in the upper right, under the Patient Portal section, next to Patient Intake Form here, click the edit icon. And this is where we'll set up our patient intake form settings. So we've already enabled intake forms. And then you can choose to require 2FA for intake forms, which means a patient's gonna receive a verification code to be able to access their intake form. And you can also set an expiry date. So they'll have, say, 14 days to complete the intake form before the link to the form expires. And then the intake form link label is how this link appears in your emails whenever you use the online form link dynamic term. So if you wanted to say, click here, or please complete your intake form, this is what the link will look like. So now we'll automate this for online booking. So under online booking, automatic intake forms, click enable. And you'll see we have a few more settings here. So you can set what the default intake form template that is going to be sent to the patients when they make an online booking. So this can be, if you don't want to automatically send an intake form, that's fine. You can set it to this. But if you have a template, you can set it here. And then you can also configure when you want this intake form to be sent. If it's only on their first online booking, like let's say, because the intake form asks for payment details, their Medicare card details, or their referral letter, you might only want to capture that info on their first online booking. But if you want the intake form to be sent at every online booking, you can also select that here. And then for individual intake form emails, you can enable this or disable it. So if you disable it, the intake form link is automatically included in their confirmation email. This is good if patients don't like receiving too many emails, but you can also enable this, and the intake form link is sent in a separate email. So this is really handy if patients don't read the confirmation email or they miss the link. You can send it in a separate special email by itself, like please complete your intake form. So let's say if I'm just going to leave this disabled so that it's just going to be in the confirmation email. So if you click save, that's it. Your intake form is going to be automated. Whenever somebody books on your online booking, that intake form template is going to be sent to them. The next thing we'll automate is your appointment reminders. So you can use reminders to not only alert your patients of upcoming appointments, but you can also give them the ability to reschedule or cancel appointments from that reminder. So first, let's allow patients to reschedule or cancel their appointments. You don't have to do this. This is purely optional. So still here on the general settings, under appointment settings, next to group cancellation settings, click the edit icon. And from here, there's this section, appointment management. So cancellation and rescheduling by patients. Under that, let's just enable that. And you have an additional field here called minimum notice period. So this is the number of hours before their appointment that they're allowed to cancel. So if you don't want people canceling like within 2 days of their appointment, then you can set this as 48 or 24. So from there, let's click save. So now we've enabled them to manage their they're now able to reschedule or cancel their appointment. Now what we need to do is to provide them the link to be able to access the appointment summary, and then that's where they can click reschedule or cancel. So what we'll do is we'll add that link to the reminders. So first we'll enable the reminders. So from on the sidebar, click settings, and then click reminders. So here, this is where we configure the reminders for the entire group. So under preferences here, just click edit. And from here, you can select which type of reminders you want to send to your patients. So you can opt that when the appointment was created, you can send them these notifications. So you can select if you want to send it by SMS or email or both. So what we really recommend is to enable reminders for pre-appointment reminder. So this is these reminders are sent at a schedule of your choosing when their appointment date is near. So we recommend like setting this for SMS. There's the chances of the patient opening the reminder and reading it is way higher with SMS. But you can also opt to send it by email, and you can enable two-way responses. So that allows that lets you tell the patient, reply Y to confirm or N to cancel, and that automatically updates your calendar. If they respond with yes or Y, that changes their appointment status to confirmed. And if they reply with N or no, that automatically updates the appointment to be canceled. And then you can set your reminder schedule here. So say the SMS reminder, you can send this maybe 3 days before. If let's say you have to take in mind to also the notice period that you set for cancellation. If they can't cancel within 48 hours, then it makes sense to put this reminder like 3 days before so that they still have time to cancel if they need to. If you've enabled email, you can also select how many days prior to the appointment you want to send it. This can be 7. And then what you can customize further what days the reminders should be sent. So you can opt to send them only on weekdays, or what time they should be sent. Like if the appointment is at 12 p.m., this is going to be sent 7 days at 12 p.m. Or you only want to send it at a specific time, like, oh, I want them to get it first thing in the morning. So you can select specific time and set the time for that. But I'm just going to leave this based on the appointment time. So from here, I'm going to click save. So we've enabled canceling, we've enabled the reminder. Now we actually have to add the link to the reminder. So from here, next under templates, next to pre-appointment, click the edit icon here. And let's say for here on the SMS, if you're using SMS, this is where you add in your, you edit the reminder template. And if you're using email, this is where you add it. So if you want them to be able to cancel or reschedule, just move your cursor where you want to add the link. And you have the dynamic term here. you can click that, and it adds the appointment link here. And then here on the email, you can also, let's say, reschedule or cancel, and then add in your dynamic term, which is link, appointment link. Just add that here, and then click save. So that is what patients will see is something like here. So to reschedule or cancel your appointment, then they can click this. So that is how to customize your reminders. And then the last thing I'll show you is to automate your invoice payments. So if you require the upfront full payment for all your bookings, this won't be necessary. But if you require the deposit payment or the credit card details, they'll be charged for the remaining balance. So automatic payments will only apply to appointments with a status, appointment status of attended. So let's automate that now. So under settings on the sidebar, under settings, click payments. And under payment processing, I'm going to click the edit icon. And from here, you can select when you want to process payment. So you can select automatic daily, which processes all the invoices at a set time of day. So let's say you want it to be at the end of the day at 5 p.m., then you can set it to that. Or if you want it to be automatic when an appointment starts. So let's say once the appointment is set to attended, say 5 minutes into the appointment, their credit card is going to be charged. So you can also select any fees you want to exclude from automatic payments processing. So from there, I'm going to select automatic daily, and I'm going to click save. So from here, you've automated your invoice payments with the settings that I added. The payments automatically get processed at 5 p.m. every day. So yeah, there you have it. You've automated your entire online bookings process from the appointment creation, rescheduling, reminders, intake forms, and even extending it to your payments. All you needed to do is see and treat your patient, and Halaxy took care of the rest. Those are our learning points. Did anybody have any questions? Oh yeah, I wanted to just quickly touch on integrating the online bookings in the website. So just on the sidebar, click personal, and then click profile. So under your name, click this button, directory profile preferences. So this might be daunting to some people. Sorry, real quick. So you have your personal directory listing and your Halaxy Health listing. So it depends what you want to add to your website. Do you want it to be your personal online booking space, like me, Ria Fernandez, you're booking with me? Or do you want the booking page for your practice, where it's going to list down the different practitioners from in your practice? So wherever it says URL of practitioner profile, this is a link that you can send to your patients. And if you copy that, you send it to them, and they access that link, they'll be taken here directly to the profile on the Halaxy directory. Sorry, I'm just going to flip back and forth. And if you want to add a button on your site, so this is an HTML button that if you copy this and if you add it to your website, I'm not sure if you're versed in HTML, but you would have to paste this code in your website's HTML. That's gonna add a button that says book, I think book now, and that'll take them to your practitioner profile, your personal one. You can also do the same for the practice listing. So this is the button that says book now, And if they click that, it takes them to the booking page for your practice. If you do want to embed like your booking page in your website, you'll need to copy this embed code. So this is going to embed this, what you see here. Sorry, what you see here. So you're booking with this specific practitioner and you'll see the list of services. That's what this is. You have to copy it and paste it in your website's HTML. If you're not familiar with HTML, I would recommend like finding a web developer to do this for you. So this can this is the URL of your practices profile for this location. And these, what do you call this? This is the URL that you can give to your patients to access the practices booking page. So this is the URL that takes them here. So I'll just quickly send you the article for the different, sorry. We have a support article here for how to use these different codes. So I'll quickly add that here in the chat. Great. Yeah. So that's how to integrate the online bookings in your website. So sorry, we've gone a bit over time, but we hope you enjoyed this webinar and found it useful. So online bookings really revolutionizes the way you run your practice, saving you valuable time to do the work that matters most, which is treating patients. So as you've seen, this is a really rich feature. There are heaps and heaps more exciting features and functions in using Halaxy, which you can find on the Halaxy help guide at support.halaxy.com. And I also want to remind everyone that at the end of this webinar, when you exit, please complete the webinar survey. Your feedback is incredibly valuable to us to improve these webinars and the Halaxy experience for you. So I'll be handing you back to Shane now. Thanks, everyone.
Yeah, thank you so much for those comprehensive insights, Ria. I think I learned a lot, and by a look from the feedback in the chat, everyone had a very good session as well. We are just going to wrap up today's session. As Ria mentioned, it'll be great if you could leave us any feedback you had on today's session. It helps us make these webinars better, and we do love doing them. In fact, we will be running another Getting Started webinar next month. Keep an eye out for that on our blog and our social media and our emails. We'll send an invite through that. And don't forget, we do have a number of other webinars if you want to learn more about Halaxy, from scheduling, from all things clinical, and from automating your practice. I'm just going to drop the link in the chat right now. I realize we've run a little bit over time, but that's okay. So I'm just going to give everyone back the rest of their day. And I want to thank you for your time. And thank you, Ria. And thank you, everyone who supported the session.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.